Title: The Great Tortilla Contest. The story begins in a small town called Villacachonda, a place that might seem boring at first glance, but deep down, the neighbors had a unique sense of humor, and the most common situations became episodes of surreal comedy. One day, the mayor, Don Fulgencio, decided to organize a very peculiar event, the Great Contest de Tortillas. It wasn't just any kind of tortilla, but the biggest, tastiest, and of course, the most original tortilla ever made in the town. The prize consisted of a golden trophy that, although of dubious quality, was desired by all. The news spread quickly, and as expected, the competition generated a whole series of absurd situations. Chapter 1: Benito's Preparation. Benito, the town butcher, decided to participate, although he didn't have the slightest idea of how to make a tortilla. His talent was cutting meat, not beating eggs. But, like most of the inhabitants of Villacachonda, Benito was known for his absolute self-confidence, even when circumstances gave him ample reason to doubt. One day before, in the contest, Benito approached the local market with a great idea. He went directly to Doña Lupita's store, the expert in everything related to ingredients, and asked her for the best eggs. "Doña Lupita, give me the freshest eggs you have. I'm going to make the biggest tortilla in the world," Benito said, while a couple of chickens walked around him, looking incredulous. "Benito, Doña Lupita responded with an ironic smile. "I don't know if those eggs will serve you for the contest, but if something characterizes you, it is determination. Or stubbornness, I'm not sure." With the eggs in hand, Benito went home, determined to make the tortilla. But before beginning, he decided to do something that every great chef did before cooking: a small break. After all, the great ideas always are born after a good time of relaxation. Or at least that's what Benito thought. Chapter 2: Benito's Disaster. The great day of the contest arrived, and Benito, with his apron stained with a seat, presented himself in the square with a basket of eggs, potatoes, and a confident smile. Upon arriving, he saw that other competitors were already cooking at full speed. Doña Consuelo, the baker, already. There was a giant table with a huge frying pan. Its tortilla was so big that it didn't even fit well on its stove. Benito, however, was not intimidated. He took out his frying pan, which was smaller than a plate, and began to beat the eggs with overflowing energy, as if he were about to make a wedding cake. The problem was that he forgot a small detail. He forgot to put oil in the frying pan. Instead of a fluffy and golden mixture, his tortilla began to stick like a magnet to the surface. And worst of all, it began to come out of the pan. "Oh my God, this is going to be epic," Benito thought, while trying to separate the sticky dough with a spatula, which looked more like an excavation shovel than a kitchen utensil. Chapter 3: The Great Surprise. The Competank. It reached its climax when all the contestants placed their tortillas on the judges' table. Benito was nervous, but he had an ace up his sleeve. Despite the fact that his tortilla looked more like a shapeless mass than a culinary masterpiece, he had a brilliant idea to disguise his disaster: the secret dressing. He took out a bottle of what appeared to be ketchup, but in reality, it was a chemical experiment he had been creating in his spare time. At first, it seemed like a normal liquid, but the moment he sprayed it on his tortilla, the mixture began to bubble and to emit a phosphorescent green smoke. The judges looked surprised, and Benito, with a proud smile, said, "It's an innovative avant-garde recipe, the tortilla that the future eats." The silence. He reigned for a second, until one of the judges, Mr. Juan, an old man known for his strong stomachs, tasted the tortilla. As soon as he did, his face turned green, and before he could to say something, a loud belch resonated throughout the town. The crowd looked astonished, and then, like a chain reaction, all the other judges tasted the tortilla. Fortunately for them, the Ria didn't get to finish it, since the smell was so strange that they started running towards the bathrooms. Benito, in his naivete, thought this was a sign that his tortilla was on another level of sabor, an innovative flavor, as he called it. But the golden trophy was not for him. In fact, his innovation was not only rejected, but was catalogued by the local press as the worst invention gastronomic of the year. Chapter 4: The True Winner. Finally, the winner of the contest was Pedro, the fisherman, who, without pretensions or rare ingredients, made a simple tortilla, but perfecta. It was golden, fluffy, and with just the right touch of salt. However, the real prize was for Benito, who, at the end of it all, was recognized for his originality and his courage in facing E2 prize. The disaster with a positive attitude. Don Fulgencio, the mayor, raised the golden trophy and with a smile handed the prize to Benito, saying, "Although your tortilla was a disaster, Benito, log raced to make the whole town laugh. And that, my friend, is a true triumph." And so the people of Villacachonda moved on, with Benito as the hero of the day, the man who made everyone laugh. Ran, although sometimes at the cost of his own shame. And subscribe and comment.